Hey, welcome back to Algebra Board Review Notes for Math 2, Distance Learning. This is going to cover standards 4, 5, and 6. So this is our third installment of this one. And we're working with the equations of lines here. And we're working with slope, y-intercept, x-intercept, and the different forms. So let's start right away and jump right in here with the slope and y-intercept. That form, that slope-intercept form, looks like this. Y equals mx plus b. Same as it did in 8th grade, the same as it's done for thousands of years. So basically, we just write this as y equals, the slope is m, letter m, so that's going to be 4. We leave x because x and y represent the coordinates of any point that's on the line. And it intersects the y-intercept, that is what our b is right there, plus 3. All right, do the same thing over here. Y equals minus 1x plus 1. Or as some people say, minus x plus 1. They don't write the 1 either way. Now we come down to this next one. This is where we change gears a little bit. We're not going to write it in slope-intercept form. We're going to write it in what we call point-slope form. Point-slope form. All you need is the slope and the point on the curve or on the graph, and you're good to write it. And what that looks like is this. It looks like y minus k equals m times x minus h. If you're asking yourself that question, what the heck is h and k? Well, that's h and k are the coordinates of this point. So 5 is h, that's your x coordinate. 1 is k. So you just write your equation, y minus 1 equals minus 2/5, because the slope is given to us right there at the top. And then x minus 5. So that's our point-slope equation. It's how you write an equation in point-slope form. All right, we're going to do that one more time here for practice. Y. Now, normally you would write minus negative 4, but minus negative is the same thing as y plus 4. So we just cancel out the double negative, use addition instead. And then our slope is minus 7/2, x minus 2. All right, so that's slope-intercept form, a little bit of a check there. And a little bit of a check on point-slope form. So you might want to stop and review the point-slope form if you need to at this moment. Pause the video. If not, let's move on.org. All right, so we're going to do this again. And once again, we're going to cross out slope-intercept form, and we're going to put it into point-slope form. But we've just got 2 points, so we need to get the slope. So we do need to get the change in y over the change in x. And to do that, the easiest way is really just to loop it together. From 0 to 4. Well, from 0 to 4, that's a change of positive 4. And then on the x's, from 2 to 4 is a change of positive 2. So that slope is really 2. All right, once you got the slope, you can write the equation with either point. So there's 2 answers really here, 2 possible equations of the line in that point-slope form. So let's try that again. If what h and k here, if we're using the point 2, 0, if that's our point that we're going to use, then we would write y, and we wouldn't write minus 0, we just write y equals. And then the slope is 2, x minus 2. We could also use a different point if we want to. We could use the point 4, 4 and write y minus 4 equals 2. The slope doesn't change. X minus 4. So you got 2 answers to these. That's what you got. That's the big deal. All right, let's try that again with another problem. We need to get slope first. So right here, change in y from 3 to negative 4. That drops by 7. And then from 1 to 0, that drops by 1. So our slope is actually 7 on this. So that's where we're getting the slope of 7. And then we can write our equation 2 different ways. We can use this first point, y minus 3, because 3 is k, that's our y component, equals 7 x minus 1. All right. And then our second point here, we can use another point to write the same equation. 0, 4, we would write y plus 4, remember, because it's a minus a negative 4, and equals, slope still 7, and because it's x minus 0, we just write 7x, and we're good to go. All right, so we're going to do a couple more of these. I'm just going to go through them a little quicker now that we've done the full explanation. So here we got slope. oops, change in y from 4 to 0 is minus 4. Change in x from 0 to negative 5, minus 5. All right, so our slope is positive 4/5. Let's see, let me double check that. From 4 to 0, went down. From 0 to negative 5, went down. So our slope is positive 4/5. And now let's write our equations. Okay, so let's write this with the first point. We'll go with the 0, 4. So y minus 4 equals, the slope is 4/5. And since it's x minus 0, we'll just use the x there. We don't have to write minus 0. And for our second one here, this is for this coordinate. Y minus 0, we'll just use y. And the slope is still 4/5. X, now we'd say x minus negative 5, so we just say x plus 5. All right, so we're getting there. Let's come on down to the next level here. I'm just going to wall this off. Let's go slope first here. Change in y from negative 4 to negative 1 is plus 3. From 0 to negative 3 is minus 3. So our slope is negative 1. All right, so once we got that, we can write the equations. Y plus 4 equals, what did we say our slope was? Minus 1? No, negative 1. All right. Equals negative, and we don't have to write negative 1, we just write minus, and this is just because it's x plus 0, we just leave it as that. All right, then we come back to the next one, this point, and we say, okay, y plus 1 equals negative, and that's going to be x plus 3. All right, moving on to the next problem here. We're going a little quicker now that you've seen the instruction. Let's get our slope first. From 3 to negative 3, right there, that's going to be minus 6. That's the change in y. From 2 to 0, it's going to be minus 2. So our slope here is actually 3. Let me just double check my numbers here. 3 to negative 3, that's dropping by 6, change in y. 2 to 0 is dropping by 2. Okay. Double checking slope. Let's use our 0.23. Y minus 3 equals 3 is the slope times x minus 2. And using the second point, y plus 3, because it's minus negative 3, equals, and the slope is 3, and it's x plus 0, so we're just going to write that as 3x. All right, so last one in the book here. Slope on number 10 here. From 4 to 5 is plus 1. From 0 to negative 5 is minus 5. So our slope is negative 1/5. That actually is our slope. So we don't need to reduce it or do anything. Let's just go ahead and get us an equation here. Y minus 4 equals negative 1/5. It's x plus 0, so we don't have to put plus 0. We don't need parentheses at all. And then our next point, y minus 5 equals negative 1/5. X minus negative 5, so x plus 5. All right, so we're just going to finish this up with deciding if a point's on the line. It's just plug and chug, substitute and evaluate. In other words, drop negative 2 in for y, drop 3 in for x, and if the equation's balanced, so that's what we call in our business substitute and evaluate. Cursive. All right, so we just say 2 equals 2 times, oops, sorry, let's see, that's negative 2 there. I almost wrote it. Equals 2 times 3 minus 8. So when you think about that, 3 times 2 is 6. 6 minus 8 is negative 2. If the equation equals, you must say, yes, it's on the line. All right. Same thing down here, sub and evaluate. So we've got 8 equals 6 times negative 2, which we know is negative 12, plus 4. So negative 12 plus 4 is 8, but not negative 8. So because it's not, that's kind of, you got a situation where 8 equals negative 8, so no, that is not on the line. Same thing here, but we're just sub and evaluating all these things, really. So let's just check in here. Negative 12 equals, we're just subbing here like this, equals 10 times 1, which is just 10, minus 2. Is that on the line? Hold on a second. Let's see here. Ooh, I almost forgot the negative. Oops. Negative 10. That changes everything. You might watch your signs, folks. Negative 10 minus 2 is negative 12. So negative 12 equals negative 12. The equation balances, and we say, yes, that point is on the line. All right, and then last one here, we got 2 for x. So 2 times 2 is 4. We got 2 for y. So 3 times 2 is 6 minus 10. Well, 6 minus 10 is 0. Check. Yes, it's on the line. All right, so you kind of get the idea there. We're going to skip problem number 5. I'm not going to worry about that one. That's kind of an oddball for K. It's just a weird problem. We're going to leave it alone. All right, and that is the end. The end, as they say in Europe. See ya.